I'll admit it, I don't get why Sarper Güven is suddenly a fan favorite. Did 90 Day Fiancé fans forget he's a bad boy? Sarper Güven is suddenly a fan favorite cast member on 90 Day Fiancé season 11, and this really puzzles me as a viewer. Shekinah Garner from Los Angeles and Sarper met in Turkey, where she was vacationing with a friend. Shekinah fell head over heels for the model, actor, and personal trainer Sarper. She decided to move to Turkey, even though Shekinah returned every other week to spend time with her daughter. The decision took a toll on Sarper and Shekinah's relationship, exposing the cracks that confirmed they shouldn't have been together in the first place. However, in the past few months, the fandom of Sarper has grown. Sarper is being praised for being a 90 Day Fiancé partner who is genuine and cares for his partner. Sarper is liked by fans as he has never cheated on Shekinah and has them convinced that he might love Shekinah as much as he loves himself. Sarper now has more green flags than red in his repertoire, which makes me question if we're even talking about the same person. Sarper was extremely controlling of Shekinah. Sarper has a sketchy past too. About a month before she moved to Turkey, Sarper told Shekinah that he had slept with over 2,500 women. I found it funny that she thought it was a typo, because while 250 was still a lot for her, she was okay with letting it slide. However, Sarper responded by saying it was between 2,500 and 3,000. He admitted that he used to have sex with 4.5 women a day, but said Shekinah is all he thinks about now. Shekinah was nothing if not dedicated to trying to make her relationship with Sarper work. However, I despised how Sarper exhibited controlling behavior towards Shekinah on 90 Day Fiancé. The other way, Sarper was in control of Shekinah Garner's fitness and dressing sense as soon as she landed in Turkey. To me, it became evident that Sarper didn't like it when his fiancée was speaking up for herself. He didn't obey her and even refused to make their relationship Instagram official. In his People interview, Sarper admitted that if he were in Shekinah's shoes, he wouldn't easily trust a man with his past either. However, somehow, viewers seem to have forgotten everything Sarper did in his previous spin-offs. Sarper has a terrible temper. Sarper has caused Shekinah pain. During an episode of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 6, Shekinah claimed Sarper had ripped out her hair extensions during a supposedly physical altercation. They had been fighting over Shekinah, fearing that her family wouldn't approve of Sarper. Shekinah had informed Sarper that her mother and sisters weren't talking to her because of their relationship. According to Shekinah, Sarper pulled out her hair extensions during a physical altercation that was not captured on camera. However, Sarper claimed that he was simply trying to take her phone, and one of her hair extensions came out as he grabbed it. Sarper insulted Shekinah in front of her sister. Sarper embarrassed and humiliated his partner. Shekinah's sister, Sheria, had traveled to Turkey to meet Sarper. I was shocked when he started calling Shekinah by **** in front of her. He left a very bad impression on Sheria when he not only hurled several insults at her sister but also dubbed himself an alpha male. Sheria had also noticed how controlling Sarper was of her sister when Shekinah mentioned the empty alcohol bottles in his apartment with memories of his past escapades attached to him. And the 90 Day Fiancé star fired back by stating he didn't like being told what to do. 90 Day Fiancé's Shekinah Garner hints at split with Sarper Güven in stunning update amid revealing if she moved into a bigger house. 90 Day Fiancé star Shekinah Garner is suggesting that her relationship with Sarper Güven is over after sharing a cryptic post about him and revealing if she has a new house in Los Angeles. Sarper and Shekinah's relationship began in The Other Way Season 5. Shekinah met Sarper during her Turkey vacation, and Sarper, who had been with over 3,500 women by then, decided to change his ways for the American woman. Sarper was controlling towards Shekinah, but seemed to turn over a new leaf in newer seasons. In 90 DF Season 11, Sarper moved to America to marry her. Before that, Sarper had to win the approval of Shekinah's family, including her daughter and sisters. While he was successful, something seems to have gone wrong between the two after filming Season 11. Therialativemus shared a post with a story screenshot from Shekinah, where she wrote, "You know what really sucks? and listed down things such as her being ignored when you're hurt, sick, emotional and feeling alone because your partner is always checked out, and even being told if you get too skinny or fat I will leave you. Shekina didn't direct the message towards anyone, but it looked like she was talking about Sarper since viewers have watched him being extremely controlling towards her when they started their reality TV journey. What Shekina's post about Sarper means for their relationship. Where is Sarper living now? Sarper came to the US almost a year ago, and considering it was on a 90-day visa, Sarper and Shekina are already married. Sarper has been living in Los Angeles with Shekina, from where he has been working as a personal trainer. Shekina still lives in the same house as shown in season 11, which Sarper compared to a prison. It's not known if his living conditions or the pressure to be a good boy by dumping his bad boy reputation finally made Sarper snap. However, in season 11, it was Shekina who came across as the controlling partner. As per her notes, Sarper has made her feel deeply unhappy and like a burden. He has not had mature conversations with her and seemingly blames her for everything. Sarper was like that when he met her, and Shekina could have chosen to split up at the time instead of accepting his proposal. Sarper had shown her his true colors early on. However, Shekina chose to stay together with him, and even brought him to the US. Our take on Shekina and Sarper seemingly splitting up before the season ends. What's next for Shekina and Sarper? Sarper has expressed his unhappiness with living with Shekina on multiple occasions on 90 Day Fiancé. He was under tremendous pressure to prove he had changed to her family before they married. However, Sarper and Shekina seemingly splitting up before the show even ends will come as a shocker to fans. It might be their chance to now head to a new 90 Day Fiancé spin-off about couples seeking therapy, considering they didn't have a happily ever after. 90 Day Fiancé. Signs Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven will stay together despite their major drama. Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven's relationship may be breaking down on 90 Day Fiancé season 11, but the embattled couple hasn't called it quits just yet. Shekina and Sarper have experienced numerous ups and downs since they first appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, the other way. Shekina had trouble grappling with Sarper's playboy past, and they both struggled with trust issues. Their arguments often turned explosive and nasty. Their engagement seemed to turn over a new leaf, but even after Sarper moved to Los Angeles to begin his life with Shekina, old patterns re-emerged. A recent fight that played out on screen seemed like it could spell the end of their relationship, with Sarper threatening to abandon his K-1 visa and move back to Turkey. Although the couple made up the following episode, Shekina dropped several hints on social media that she'd finally given up on repairing her broken relationship. However, signs remain that Sarper and Shekina are still together, and given everything they've been through, it appears nothing will tear them apart. Sarper and Shekina continue to be photographed together in Sarper's residency in the US suggests they're already married. While Shekina has spoken out on social media about the problems in her relationship, recent sightings suggest the couple is still very much together. Sarper included Shekina a Mother's Day photo alongside his own mother, and Shekina commented, "Love your sweet mama." The pair continues to spend time with Sarper's family, and they were recently spotted with his parents in Las Vegas in a photograph shared by Shabuti. These photographs not only confirm that Sarper and Shekina are still on good terms, but they also drop a major hint about their marital status. Sarper is clearly still living in Los Angeles, which means he and Shekina must have gotten married. Furthermore, Shabuti pointed out that Sarper's wedding ring is visible. The proud display of wedding rings suggests that the breakup rumors are false and Sarper and Shekina are still romantically involved. Shekina and Sarper admit intimacy is the glue that holds them together. Their physical connection helps them avoid resolving their problems. Sarper and Shekina's relationship seemed to be past the point of repair after their most recent fight on 90 Day Fiancé season 11, during which Sarper told Shekina he hated her and threatened to leave without ever giving her another thought. While viewers anticipated either a breakup or a heart-to-heart reconciliation, they were left disappointed. Instead, Sarper and Shekina repaired their relationship through physical intimacy. Sarper commented, When we woke up the next morning, everything was a little more smooth. Shekina admitted that her physical chemistry with Sarper is the glue that holds us together. No matter how big the argument, it allows them to come back together and move forward. This method isn't great for repairing the major problems in Sarper and Shekina's relationship, but it is likely what's allowed them to stay together this long. Shekina's online rants about Sarper are intentionally vague. She discussed their problems without confirming a split. As the couple's on-screen drama played out, Shekina shared her side of the story on social media. 90-Day Fiancé update captured a screenshot from Shekina's Instagram stories that went into detail about the indignities she'd suffered in her relationship. She mentioned feeling alone because your partner is always checked out and one-sided effort at conflict resolution. 90-Day Fiancé breaking news shared a video of Shekina explaining how much she had improved Sarper's life since meeting him. She claimed Sarper used to have the most toxic, chaotic, unhealthy life. While Shekina said she's given Sarper everything he could have wanted, he still struggles with taking responsibility. She added, "I'm sorry, but when you're 45 years old you need to learn responsibility if you haven't already." Shekina hasn't been shy about airing her and Sarper's dirty laundry, hinting to 90-Day Fiancé viewers that she's finally had enough. But at the same time, she stops short of confirming they are officially done. While it's possible that Shekina is being vague to avoid breaking the terms of her non-disclosure agreement, the simple solution would be to not comment on the situation at all. Shekina's purposely fanning the flames to make viewers think she was unable to resolve her issues with Sarper, but she never says outright that they broke up. Sarper and Shekina seem to thrive on drama. It keeps their relationship interesting. With all the chaos in Shekina and Sarper's relationship, they somehow seem to be stronger than ever. They're allegedly married and living together in Los Angeles, which required Sarper to leave everything behind and Shekina to make space for him in her own life. The most reasonable explanation is that they enjoy drama and seek it out in their relationship. Sarper and Shekina both seem to love being the center of attention. The pride and energy they each put into their appearance suggests they care deeply about what other people think. Their cycle of fighting and making up draws attention to their relationship, and they seem to thrive on that energy, whether it's positive or negative. Despite alluding to a breakup, it's possible that Sarper and Shekina's 90-Day Fiancé journey is far from over, and speculation about their relationship helps secure their future with the franchise. 90-Day Fiancé star Sarper is learning to behave with Shekina, but happiness is low. 90-Day Fiancé, the other way couple Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner have had quite the journey, and despite all that they've been through, they're still thankfully together. Recently, however, Güven gave an interview in which he admitted that he feels like he's been living at the extreme ends of the happiness spectrum after leaving his life in Turkey. On March 14, 2025, Güven and Garner both had a brief chat with People and shared how the two of them are adjusting to their new life in the US. Güven, a personal trainer and fitness coach, is of the view that he had a peaceful life back in Turkey, but being in the US on K-1 visa and not having a bank account or the ability to work really affects him. He went on to share his 2 cents about the whole situation in the following words. "I came here. I made a big gamble with my life. I left everything behind. I left an independent, free life. I have nothing here. I have nothing. And this is only for a woman. If somebody told me 2 years ago that I would change that much from a bad boy to this, I would laugh at them with my ass. But it happened for her, and that is the proof of love." Güven has previously admitted to having a body count of nearly 3,000 women. So before he moved to the US, both Garner and Güven specifically thought that the biggest problem in their relationship would be him being monogamous. However, according to the fitness coach, that hasn't been a problem in the slightest. Sarper Güven was a relationship virgin before Shekinah Garner. Although he revealed having a body count of over 3,000 women, Güven had never been in a proper relationship with anyone before Garner. Their relationship began when they matched online, and it led Garner, who is from Los Angeles, to travel to Turkey to meet Sarper in person. As their romance deepened, Shekina decided to relocate to Turkey to pursue the relationship further. However, challenges arose when Sarper's past and commitment issues surfaced, and caused repeated conflicts between the two of them. Despite tension, their relationship moved forward, and Sarper eventually proposed to Shekina in Turkey, simultaneously receiving approval for his K-1 visa to the United States. Now that they're living in the US, Güven says that when things get tough for Garner, it has him feeling down, too. He expressed his sentiments about this in the same interview, in the following words. "She has a problem, I have a problem. If she has happiness, I am more happy than her. Is it a good thing? I don't know. Because, back then, I didn't have any stress, I didn't have any emotional chains. My life was at a happiness level of 4, 5, 6. It was going steady. Right now, it's 10 or 1. Mostly a 1. Garner, on the other hand, clapped back at him in the same light-hearted banter, and said, "That's your fault if it's a 1.